Good morning. It is Tuesday, October 15th, and that means two things. This episode is coming out on a Tuesday on account of Canadian Thanksgiving, an event anyone can participate in, so long as they send $20 to a Canadian. You can DM me for my contact info. It's also time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies and the linear and round high bay. Yes, you choose between linear, or you choose between round. But then, everything else is in the box. Every other choice is in that box. Lens swap, different optics, different colors, different power levels. All that's in there. You just flip a switch, swap out a piece. It's great. That is Keystone Tech, making your life easy two ways. That's round and squares. Link is in the description. We're going to talk about the news now. Current will be closing Forum. They actually bought Forum in 2021. More details on the phase-out on the 12th of November. GenCap America is buying TechLight. No details on that PE firm-backed deal. We have for sale Saylight's assets. This includes inventory, real estate, and IP. So if you ever need any of those three things, go right ahead. Auction details linked in the description. DMF Lighting is seeking entries in their 5th annual design awards. The deadline is January 13th. We have Lights Out for Banana Republic. The fashion brand is leaving furniture after a whole year. Bright LED Electronics' first half of the year shows $2.7 million in profits. Orion has scored a 5-year deal. This is a $25 million arrangement with an unnamed retailer they were already working with. Eco Design Index has been launched. This is a new tool for tracking environmental performance factors. ARS is going to be donating to solar lighting to Syria. This is a student effort supported by the Armenian Relief Society of the Eastern U.S. Brian Amundsen was on Get a Grip on Lighting talking about blinking lights. GenLed is moving their HQ in the EU. This is a new facility in Amsterdam with some high-end gear. Siemens is upgrading their facility in North Carolina with $36 million to improve their space in Wendell. Bulbright is opening a new distro center in Summerville, South Carolina. FW Web is moving their wholesale location to Swansea, New Hampshire. Southwire has published their 2nd annual Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion report, and their conclusion is that they are ahead of their self-imposed goals. Political correctness gone mad, I say. I actually don't say that. I've never said that sincerely. Fine Art Lighting has partnered with Barclay Butera. This is a couture brand endorsing decorative fixtures. The first Beacon Awards were held at Sony Hall in New York City. Presentation went well. The Silhouette Awards is seeking mentees. The mentor pool has been named. Any designer with 8 years or fewer of experience has until the 1st of December to be considered for this. Werner Electric is in the top 75 companies in Wisconsin. This ranking is brought to you by Deliot. Mississippi nonprofits are repurposing lighting with a new waste diversion scheme. Home Depot execs are starting to work floor shifts. All corporate employees will have to work 1 retail shift per year. Show of hands if you do that more than once a week. IMR market reports insist that Circline fluorescent tubes and the market for them will grow significantly by 2032. This is why we stopped linking market reports, because who's talking about Circline fluorescence, really? In rep agency updates, McKenna will be repping Danolite in Alberta. Pacific Western agencies will be repping Priority Wire and Cable in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. On the legal side of things, the Amazon antitrust case may proceed. This is an FTC complaint going to federal court, but a bunch of state-level complaints have been dismissed. Lamps Plus will be paying a $4.1 million settlement in a price match-related lawsuit based on an unclear and misleading ad. A California fixture delivery driver has been charged with vehicular manslaughter. He didn't secure his boxes. They fell off on the highway. This led to a motorcycle crash involving a police officer. And there you go. The lesson is keep your boxes safe. Court has paused the Signify Menards case pending a patent review. Warren, Ohio is suing Edison. The utility is alleged to have poorly maintained their street lighting there. And Jason Marburger has secured a fixture assembly patent for a new cord configuration. In events and webinars, Lightapalooza 25 is a full lineup set to go. 6 tracks ready and waiting this January in Dallas. Namco actually held their annual convention in Tampa in the face of Hurricane Milton. Turned out to be a good idea. They announced ahead of time that they were not going to change anything, and the whole event did not suffer too many issues other than some delayed flights. Meanwhile, the IEC, that's the International Electrical Contractors Organization, did cancel their event because of Hurricane Milton, and that was also in Tampa. Light 24 has announced their full program. This is a UK expo with a full circadian track and a full darkness track if you want to go to that. We also have a full schedule for the Hong Kong International Lighting Fair brackets Autumn Edition. Light Fair has extended the deadline for speakers. You now have until the 18th to get that in. We also have a record year for ArcLight with a 34% increase in attendance. And Lighting Live is calling for papers. Your papers could be presented at either Daventry in the UK or at the actual National Annual Conference in Glasgow, or both. You have until the 8th to submit if you want to go. ABB has partnered with Zomtobel. This is a new deal for DC lighting gear. TMC has named the Smart City Products of the Year, with 6 winners being named. Visa Lighting has won the Nightingale Award for their switches. Samsung is extending their cybersecurity features to more things. The Knox Matrix security will now run on home appliances. Paul Drossen was talking to the cast of the Lighting Controls podcast because the DALI conference is coming up, and he is the Dalai Lama. We have Q2 at Skykes with 21.4 million in sales. The LCA has updated their control system design course. Education Express number 105 has new material. Deco is adding compatibility with Home Assistant. Their modular products, slightly more modular now. Survey says homebuyers do want smart home functionality, but mostly for energy use and security. A Chinese research team has developed Wilo. It's Wi-Fi, but with LoRa. It's got better range and a fun name. And Nintendo has announced a smart alarm clock. The Alarmo is a Wi-Fi connected device that plays sounds and music from 35 different Nintendo games and uses motion sensors and motion controls to determine alarm intensity and when to shut off, i.e., if you don't get up, it gets louder. If you do get up, it turns off. This doesn't work if you share a bed with a person or a pet. Just pointing that out. In R&D, sunlight does help protect your vision. More time outside protects you against nearsightedness, particularly when you are young. The Akka Space Studio in India is testing circadian lighting systems. This is part of a whole suite of tech they are building for potential moon bases. The SNU College has tested encryption for visible light communication. This is in Korea. This new system uses polarization, like the kind of way you project 3D movies, to encode data. Windowless dorms? Definitely a bad idea. UMichigan Housing Experiment has found that electric light just won't match the sun. And Washington University has developed a new model for daylight quality. This accounts for more variables in the sky. On the dark side of things, the DSI has issued principles for responsible astrotourism. They're a lot like their principles for responsible outdoor lighting, but also like the principles for responsible park use. Two great tastes coming together. A reminder that bird collisions are a rural issue too, and that you should turn your lights off even if you live in the woods. We have a 100-foot wide illuminated sign in Rochester, New York, having its day in court. The court found that, well, yeah, it's really big. It's not actually a violation of any lighting bylaws. More details on the Darkness News update later this week. If you care to. You should care to. I'll go into it. Beaver Island in northern Michigan is officially a dark sky sanctuary, and Vernon County in Wisconsin lost out on its opportunity for dark sky status because its neighbors got too bright during the approval process. David Lefebvre was on Restoring Darkness, talking about feelings, not stats. We have a Lights Out program in Rockwell County, Texas, and in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas as well. The Bats of San Diego are struggling as urbanism expands. We have a fracking site in the UK being closed, but the lights are still on. What's the deal? Ely, Nevada is enjoying a boom in astrotourism, which is money in the bank, literally. Edison, New Jersey is debating a new light trespass law, and the Grand Wailea Resort in Maui has published a new lighting plan after 2 lawsuits and an endangered species complaint. In horticultural news, Ontario cannabis growers are complaining about utility rebate implementation, which is to say they're not getting the actual rebate half of it. Greentown has partnered with Solemn, and Utah State U has published a guide for growing mushrooms in vertical farms. In recommended reading, all these links and more on nailed.org, we have How to Embrace the Circular Economy. An embrace is when your arms come together, and that's round, and that's a circle. But if you charge for a hug, you're a weirdo. I'm sorry, that was so bad. So bad, sorry. We have what went into forming the first dark sky community in Australia, the pulse of lighting in Q3. We have lighting behind concepts for signage. We have 4 fixtures that are no longer fashionable. We have 4 things to expect in the future of the lighting business. We have an understanding of ESG, that's environmental sustainability guidelines for commercial buildings. We have inside an interestingly shaped bulb, inside a different interestingly shaped bulb, and flash bulbs. Remember camera flash bulbs? How did they work? That's fun, right? And in case studies, we have Sheikh Zayed's Grand Mosque and their new lighting, relighting Boathouse Row in Philadelphia, and UNC's Morisco Hall Imaging and Research Building has acoustic sound baffling and lighting, and it's cool. In local news, Nova Scotia has launched a new bulb recycling program. ATCO is offering grants to nonprofits in Alberta. We have new infrastructure grants in Selma, Alabama. We have $3.9 million to revamp a historic site in Brooklyn, New York. We have light projects moving ahead in Bluefield, West Virginia. Toronto, Ontario is home to a glowing highway wall, and it's neat. Riverhead, New York is home to a glowing geodesic dome made of old jeans. I found out about it, and now you have to know about it too. Champaign, Illinois has approved a new 25-year infrastructure plan. Boulder, Colorado is going to be switching their streets to LED. Jackson County, Michigan has loosened code compliance plans for small businesses. Pequot, Minnesota has a new grant for school safety. We have $3.8 million for the libraries of St. Louis, Missouri. We have new grants for libraries in New York State. We have Cambridge, Ontario being robbed, one business in Cambridge, Ontario being robbed of $50,000 in copper wire. We have $194,000 for community center lighting in Citrus Heights, California. Also in Citrus Heights, solar street lighting going up. Lighting upgrades going through at Fort Worth, Texas City Hall. That's the outside, glowy stuff. And we have new grants for grocery stores in Illinois. And North Omaha, Nebraska is dealing with street lighting issues. Internationally, we have new lighting controls going in at the Guinness Brewery. We have lighting in Cheltenham in the UK going on. Like, new lighting went up, but they're not turning it on due to a planning loophole. Signify has opened a new finance service center in Noida, India, and Cree LED has relamped downtown Querétaro in Mexico. People-wise, Jahir Mahendi Aga, late of Philips, is now the CFO at Gensol Engineering. Piet Hein van Bar has been hired as a plant specialist for Heliospectra. Visa Lighting has added 2 people to their regional sales team. John Abel has joined Animer Electrical as their regional sales manager. Cole Doolittle has been named the district VP at Graybar. Randy Mortensen has been promoted to EVP of Sales and Marketing at Leviton. Jesus Cormanato has been named to the board of directors at Schneider Electric. Kelvin Saunders has been hired as a national account specialist at Morris Products. And we have a new and better way to carve a pumpkin to add lighting to it. I have been Scott Walker. I want to thank you for your time, your attention. I want to thank our sponsors. But until next time, take care of yourself. Have a great week. Enjoy the music.
Постой, паровоз, не стучит ли колеса? Трамвай, нажми на тормоза. Военный поезд НАТО несется угорелый, спешит туда, где ждет его гроза. Военный поезд НАТО несется угорелый, спешит туда, где ждет его гроза. Не жди дома, мама, хорошего сына. Он в Кракове служил еще вчера. Его послала НАТО в опасную трясину. Для генералов вечная игра. Его послала НАТО в опасную трясину. Для генералов вечная игра. А если туман по ним ядреными батонами, то не помогут в церкви образа. Пока еще не поздно сделать остановку. Трамбона, нажми на тормоза. Пока еще не поздно сделать остановку. Трамбона, нажми на тормоза. Долбанут по ним ядреными батонами, то не помогут в церкви образа. Пока еще не поздно сделать остановку. Там, Дональд, нажми на тормоза. Пока еще не поздно сделать остановку. Там, Дональд, нажми на тормоза.